Hi everyone, I've been using my OPZ a lot more lately, and last night I realized that I've never shared one of my favorite OPZ tricks. That is, adding drum fills by using the Gyroscope LFO and parameter locks. I'm going to show you the basics of the Gyroscope LFO, and then I have a few different demos to show you how I've used this for fills and a couple other applications that you might find interesting. First, I'm starting off with this basic drum beat. This is all I have right now. So I'm already on the third parameter page, and that's the LFO. I'm going to just, for this demo, set this so that the gyroscope affects the pitch of this. So the fourth encoder here is going to select the source of the LFO, and I'm going to change it to 6. There's also a 6 option with the 0 highlighted, and I don't want that. I just want this one, because that is the gyroscope. And then, for the sake of this demo, I'm going to set destination, the third encoder, to 1, so that way we can really hear this changing the pitch. Lastly, I'm going to make sure that we have this first one, which is the amount of the LFO, all the way maxed out so we can really hear this. So hopefully you already get a little bit of where I'm going with this. I'm going to take the same idea, and instead of having it affect parameter 1, I'm going to set the destination to 8, which is volume. Then I'm going to change this to being the opposite. So now you see how we can mute and unmute things using the gyroscope. But we don't want that to always happen. Like I said, I only want this for fills. So how am I going to do that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it so that the regular LFO is just low value, and maybe we'll just make it something slightly different in terms of its shape. I'm then going to add a couple of accent hits, and for each of these I'm going to add a similar parameter lock. I'm going to turn the amount all the way down, set the destination to volume, and then set the shape to the gyroscope. So now I'm going to hold this down till it copies it, and then I'm going to add it in a couple more places. And what this should do, if I have this angled at me, I'm not going to hear that fill at all. However, if it's flat, I'm still going to hear it. So one way that I could deal with that is I could have it so that the volume on these is also parameter locked to be 0. Let's do something similar, but on the hi-hat track here. Gonna take this, make the volume 0 on the parameter lock, change it so that the amount is completely negative, the target is volume, and the shape is gyroscope. Then I'm going to copy that step, and here we go. I think we're actually still hearing this because it's only parameter locking that for 1 step, which is fine, but just kind of unexpected. Let's make that a little, can we make just that one shorter maybe? Maybe we'll just make them all a little shorter to compensate. We could also do this the opposite. So if I wanted to, I can change those parameter locks on our hi-hat track so that these are maximum, which is the opposite of what we have on the other track. And similarly, we can change the parameter lock for volume to being a little bit higher. So that hi-hat goes away, and we hear those extra accent hits too. Let's do something very similar, but we're going to go ahead and just only use the snare track. So I'm actually going to clear this off completely, and I just cleared the parameter locks. Now I think I cleared the track. There we go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it so that we hear all of the snare hits when the OPZ is flat on the table. We're only going to hear half of them when it's toward me, and we'll hear different ones when it's away from me. So that's going to be our next demo here. Let's start off by making, let's just start off by adding all the hits we want to add. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to go to the LFO page, and for all of these, I want the destination to be volume, and for all of these, I want the gyroscope to be 6. So I'm just going to leave that for the whole track, but what I will parameter lock is I'm going to make it so, let's just make it so that the hits that are on the 2 and 4, let's make those all the way up, and then let's make these all the way down in terms of the magnitude or the value. I didn't like how sparse it was when it was just the snare, those accent hits. So let's make it so that when I have the Z tilted like this, we get a 4 on the floor as well. So let's just add some of those, then we'll parameter lock them. And 8 and 6, there we go. And then copy this. Oh, you know what? We're also going to have to mute these most of the time, I think. One last demo, I'm going to increase our send to FX2 here. I'm going to go to FX2 and I'm going to go to the second parameter page, which is also our LFO. And similarly, I'm going to make it so that the shape is gyroscope. I'm going to, this time though, I'm going to make it so that this first parameter is what we're affecting, which I think is maybe the size of the reverb, but I'm not sure. And then I'm going to just crank this way up. Let's do that the opposite, actually. So this is very dry. Okay, so like that's just a bit gimmicky, but I think it's really fun, and I'm really looking forward to messing around with this a little bit at possibly some live performances in the future. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time.